Hi there, I'm meteorologist Robert Spetta here with you today. It is currently the 12th of April 2014, and severe tropical cyclone Ita made landfall out here right around the late evening hours through the overnight hours just north of Cooktown. Packing winds actually at landfall reported around Cape Flattery, gusting up to 168 kilometers per hour. That is very damaging wind gusts actually recorded, estimated near the center of circulation at landfall was right around 195 kilometers per hour. So definitely a very serious storm system, and was a dangerous and damaging storm system. Actually, several homes in Cooktown reported damage. This is from our friends at Cyclone Chasers. They took some photos out there. At least 2 homes had their roofs blown off. Still today, water is not available for most of the town of 2300 out there. Also, numerous reports of downed trees, power outages, and local authorities saying some remote areas could take as much as a month to get the power back on. Now, that's not for the more populated areas. We're talking about those remote areas outside of the township. So that is definitely still an ongoing story after that storm system did make landfall there, and that's actually the radar right at landfall, and you can see Cooktown right in the right front quadrant, and you saw a definitely very rough night for many out here. So where is this storm system going now? Well, after it came on shore, we saw it weaken out here a little bit, and it did track down there towards the south. That eye wall gave way, it got a little bit weaker. Now it's collapsing, but it's still a Category 1 storm system. I mean, this is not a weak storm system by any means. That's the latest radar from the Bureau of Meteorology. We still have rain showers coming on shore all across Cairns down through Innisfail. A few of these storms even could be packing, some damaging winds out of it, and the possibility of rainfall 200 to 300 millimeters in total. Plus, I don't like to say it all too much because I know it spooks people, but it's still possible is these embedded tornadoes with these rain bands, and that is definitely going to be a threat throughout the day here. I'll take a look at this from Cape Flattery all the way down towards Cardwell. You still have cyclone warnings in effect as of right around about 11 a.m. Eastern time out here. And even down towards Cairns, we're still looking at these fairly gusty winds coming on shore throughout the day today. Take a look at the model outlook. Winds, well, that's going to be the biggest problem. If we go back to that track, and I'll show you real quick, it just skirts the coastline. And the reason why that's a problem is that this is going to continue to gather moisture out of the Coral Sea as it continues to head south, and also you have those winds coming on shore, lack of friction. So yeah, it's weakening, and it definitely is. It's overland enough where it's going to continue to stay weak, but it's close enough to shore where it's going to continue to gather this moisture, and that is going to be the problem because it's going to maintain some sort of intensity as it just rolls down the coastal areas here and heads off south of Townsville. That you're going to be seeing some gale force winds, potentially cyclone strength winds out here as it does push overhead along with the rain, and then eventually even over towards Brisbane. As we go ahead, this is looking ahead into Monday into Tuesday. Brisbane, yeah, you're going to see some gale force winds. Now, the reason why it's skirting the coastline, we go back here, we do have a low off of Sydney. That's bringing you some gusty winds out here. This is a separate storm system, even some rainfall associated with this. This is a westerly low, but in the upper levels, this is an upper level trough, and it's hooking this kind of like a fish hook. Remember, tropical systems, they want to flow downhill kind of like water. Flowing downhill, what I mean is towards lower pressure, not the higher pressure, which you're seeing off here towards the east and towards the west. So, with that hooking it, it's going to pull towards the south and ride behind that westerly low down there towards the south. And that's why it's just skirting the coastline over Townsville, eventually down towards Brisbane, and eventually out there towards sea south of New Caledonia. So everybody's going to be feeling the effects of this, and it's definitely not over yet. Still a Category 1 tropical cyclone. I know people are starting to pick up the pieces in Cooktown, but you're still seeing some pretty heavy rain showers out of this, and it's still going to be packing quite a punch out here, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Take a look at the track. This is from the Joint Typhoon Warning Center, not the Bureau of Meteorology. They're also expecting it to basically run just towards the west of Cairns, and there's even the threat of storm surge right near these coastal areas, then over Townsville, and eventually back out there towards sea. So the good news is that damage has remained limited at this time outside of those 2 homes that you saw damage there. But I think as we get more information, plus with the flooding that is taking place, I wouldn't be surprised if we see more reports of damage out of here, plus power outages are continuing to remain in effect. Please check out our partners at Oz Cyclone Chasers. They're giving plenty of updates on the storm system. They're still streaming live out of Cooktown and some of these areas in far northern Queensland, and they're going to continue to pump information there, and that's where I got these images from. Them, and they definitely some great guys out there releasing this information, and I think they do have some great video that they have already shot. It hasn't been released yet, but stay tuned for that out there. Also, this application, and I've been using it for the last several days. If you're very curious, it is Meteo Earth. You can find it on iTunes and also on Google Play, which I use for this model outlook. Absolutely awesome app. And this storm tracker is pretty cool as well, because you can pull up the information with Ita here and just watch as it approaches Townsville. We got winds 120, 115, gusting up to 135 kilometers per hour rate once it goes by at the center of circulation. So it gives you a pretty good idea of these storms, and it's a great application to use. Only about $5 US on this one. So yeah, if you're out here in any of these areas, please continue to provide some information to us. That's definitely one of the greatest benefits of social media. A lot of people are sending us information out here in Cooktown over towards Cairns. I recommend don't do much of anything here on Saturday. Let the storm system pass. Going outside is definitely not a smart move with a storm system like this. Even though it may be weakening, it still is a pretty dangerous weather system, and I would highly recommend just letting it go by and waiting out towards Sunday when the conditions start to improve. All right, everybody, that is all for right now, everybody. Thanks again for watching here at westernpacificweather.com. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, you can always post them down there in the comment box below. And as always, stay safe out there.